realize you were an artisan?
My cat, master, scares easy these days.
Tell me truthfully, Lyris, how much of this blood is mine?
Not enough to be worried about.
You did it. I shouldn't be surprised. But things were looking rather bleak before the clouds parted. We held the gate as long as we could, but the Harrow Fiends were a flood of claws and teeth. Once they burst through, Lyris cleaved through them like a scythe through wheat. But even she couldn't stem the tide. I'm not really sure. I kind of went wild. Let out my inner beast, as it were. I was rending and slashing. Then Lyris whacked me with the flat of her blade. At least that's the last thing I remember. Not my finest hour, but we survived. The elixir is my next priority, of course. As long as the Harrow Storms are still a threat, we need a defense against them. After that, I want to examine the records we took from Greymoor Keep. I still think there's a cure for the Herod in there. Sadly, I don't think there's any hope for them. Their life energy was sucked dry, turning them into feral beasts. Restoring them is beyond my capabilities, I'm afraid. At least with the Herod, they're not so far gone as to be a lost cause. As soon as we produce enough of it, yes. We saw how it protected Svanna. Now, where did I put my flask?
So, is it over? What happened to Svargrim? And where's Svanna? A parent's betrayal cuts deeper than a sword. But Svanna's strong. Stronger than she's been given credit for. And Solitude's going to need that strength in the coming days. If you told me the tavern rat we met at the Lonely Troll would become my choice to lead this land, I'd have called you mad. Then again, my king's a skald, so what do I know? Come on, there's probably something productive we should be doing. Find out if everyone in the Hall of the Dead is all right. I'll make sure Castle Dower is secured. We did our best to hold the Harrow Fiends inside Castle Dower, but nothing short of stone walls were going to keep those monsters from pushing through. It seemed like everyone I killed was replaced by 2 more. Almost didn't. We were nearly overrun before Fen went wild. I've never seen him like that, snarling and showing what a true vampire can do. Took the Harrow Fiends by surprise and we routed them. I did have to thwack him to clear his head, though.
See, you aren't raising mugs with Ismir just yet.
We saw the storm break, but we heard nothing since you departed from Blackreach.
I regret we didn't throw a parade to welcome you back, but I'll cheer enough for 100 souls if you tell me you put that backbiter of a High King to the sword. But what of Svanna? Is she? That's good. But a daughter shouldn't have to kill her own father. Svanna has my support, for whatever that's worth. She's going to need all the help she can get in the days to come. Not until we hold a moot to support her claim, and we need more than a single Jarl for that to occur. If Svanna proves herself as the acting Jarl, they might look past her father's failings and make her the queen, eventually. We can settle the matter of the crown when there's kingdom enough to rule. What remains of the holds are still ravaged by the harrow storms, and I doubt we've seen the last of the Grey Host, for that matter. None good, but none bad either. My wife knows better than anyone how to care for our people. I trust she and my thane to protect and care for Morthal in my absence.
We seem to have survived, thank the gods. I thought for certain we were all about to witness the end of the world. No thanks to Svargrim, damn his eyes. After you and the princess went off to Blackreach, I gathered whoever we could and made our stand here in the Hall of the Dead. I'm just glad we don't have to be permanent residents. Far fewer than I feared when the storm began. Thanks to you and the princess. With the storm over and the Grey Host driven from Castle Dower, my soldiers will get the city back into shape. As long as no one else attacks us in the meantime. The Grey Host? I thought we were done with them for now.
Not the Grey Host. The Skald King with an army from the east.
What treachery is this?
To the gates. We'll give the Skull King a proper welcome, one way or another.
Sailing giants. I'd have never imagined.
I envy your vigor. The last time I swung my axe in battle, there was a Longhouse Emperor on the Ruby Throne. I expect clear skies on the hour.
Tenzin scholars should have simple jobs fit for an adventurous individual. However, you won't want to go it alone on orders from Hedavar's militia. Their duties are far too dangerous for one person. Help both with their tasks, and we can all get paid.
Stand down, you idiots! We come in peace.
Partner, could really use your knack for diplomacy right now. Speak to the Skull King before we start a war.
Sure save me from fools and prophets. Will no one properly greet a weary traveler?
Go on and talk with this eastern loudmouth before there are 2 empty thrones today.
So this is the Skald King? He's not the prancy dandy I expected. But if he wants a fight, we will give it to him.
Good to see you. Now work your magic before I have to teach these Western Nords some manners. It's as much a surprise to me as anyone. I'll admit my last report was pretty bleak, and I haven't had a chance to send another since we rescued Fen. But I never advised Yoren to march into Solitude. His grand gesture is supposed to be a show of support, but Yoren's underestimated how much the Westerners distrust him. Damn bards and their lofty ideas.
I know that there's little love between East and West, but now's not the time to be picking a fight. Lyris's report on the rise of Grey Host had my father preparing for the worst. When we hadn't received word for some time, he decided to intercede. Svargrim. It's hard to believe the rumors were true. I didn't know him well, but I can't understand how anyone could throw away everything for the promise of power. What's immortality worth if there's nothing you hold dear? You'd have to ask him. As far as I can tell, the western holds are in chaos. They could use a king who cares for his fellow Nords. But if the welcome we received here is any indication, Solitude won't see it that way.
Oh, familiar face. Maybe you can talk some sense into these Western milk drinkers. We're not a damn invasion. We're here to help. Do you know what's going on? So the rumors are true? Svargrim joined the Grey Host? I knew he had ambitions, but to throw away his humanity like that, it's inconceivable. Svargrim once told me that he would die before welcoming me to Solitude. I suppose he was right. That's why I sent Lyris here in the first place. I'm not the king of these holds, though. I can't do anything if they refuse my help. Svargrim despised me. He would never accept my aid. But Svanna... here she comes now. Let's see what she has to say.
We have no need of help that involves welcoming your soldiers within our walls.
My walls, Jarl. My father may have been willing to slap aside the helping hand, but I'm not. Permit me a word with your envoy, Skald King. Thank you. For holding the line, I mean. I'm ready to do what I should have done a long time ago. To do what my father never could. I'll speak with the Skald King. There's one more thing I'd like you to do while I entertain our guests. We saved Solitude. But our war with the Grey Host is far from over. We need Fenn's elixir more than ever. With that, and King Yoren's help, we might just push these monsters back into their grave for good. Check on Fenn's progress, please. That depends on Fenn. If there's anything standing in his way, let me know, and I'll do everything in my power to get him what he needs. Fenn is with Old Mjolnir at the Mages Guild. When you're finished with him, join me in the courtyard of the Blue Palace. I'm going to hold a moment of remembrance for this city. We all need a moment to mourn what we lost. I'm going to invite the Skald King to join us. If the people of Solitude see him bow his head along with the rest of us, they may not care about the divide between the East and the West.
I should remain with the Skald King. I trust you can handle Svanna's request without me.
So we're to bow our heads with the Skald King? Perhaps the poets prepared a dirge.
Clasping arms with Easterners. There's been enough death for one day.
I can feel their eyes studying me.
May Arcade drive back the darkness, forevermore.
Ooh, here to see my shiny rings? One day I hope to make one that changes songs into a magic shield. Can you imagine being a bard with such a ring?
Ingenious. A rare thing to find an elf with the makings of a clever woman.
Despite what my kin might proclaim, it's not all in the blood. Ah, good, you're here. We've made a breakthrough.
I have seen many things in my time, but never could I have predicted I would soon train adepts of the Mages Guild in the arts of my ancestors. This is an institution of elves. They know nothing of the soul of the world. Here, magic is a thing to be measured and weighed. Mages know. They do not feel. Necessity and a hope they can learn. If we're to brew enough elixir for everyone in the kingdom, it will take all the herb grinders in the holds. Here at least they know how to use a mortar and pestle.
I was just discussing a theory with Mjolnir, and it seems like we're very close to turning this elixir into a true restorative. A cure. Singolis's research on the nether root showed me just how it weakens the connection between a body and soul. Thus far I've been able to inure a person to the root, but now I'm certain I can use that knowledge to heal those weakened bonds. Well, it is just a theory at this point. There's a lot more testing and experimentation to be done before we can produce a viable antidote. Weeks, optimistically? I know. We can't simply put things on hold. Mjolnir and I have a batch brewing right now, and materials to keep producing for another day. Ingert's promised us a steady supply of Arcase oil, but that's not our limiting factor. We know enough about Singolis's refinement processes to replicate his methods, but we still need a source of netherroot to do so. Tell Svanna that if she can keep us supplied, we can produce enough elixir for all the holds in a matter of weeks. We can ransack Greyhost stockpiles, or mount an expedition into Blackreach. Otherwise, it would take decades of work to produce a proper crop. After we get the elixir squared away, we'll turn our attention to curing the Herald. Indeed. As I surmised, the Grey Reliquaries contained the remains of ancient Greyhost warriors. They served as a connection to the souls trapped in Cold Harbor. Using the energy from the Harrow Storms, the souls were pulled into the stone husks. I believe the stone husks are incubators of a sort. The physical forms of the Greyhost are reincorporated within the stone vessels, through a mix of Singolis's alchemy and sorcery, and the magic of the Ice Reach witches. When whole, they burst free.
I have seen many things in my time, but never...
Good to see you back again, Adept. The guild is stronger.
You're real, right? I'm not seeing things. Oh, pardon. Never mind. Strange and unsettling dreams plague me of late. The ones that leave you drained of all energy in the morning and questioning reality. I'll be fine soon, I'm sure.
You have shown yourself to be a true warrior, not only at Mor Khazgor, but here too. My clan is eager to repay you and help these people. We know they're suffering all too well.
Praise the divines for sparing solitude. I have enough souls to mourn today.
We're all waiting for Svanna, and she's waiting for you. Go and talk to her.
Surely the gods sent you to Western Skyrim. May Arcade grant you the strength to strike down every last one of those fiends of the Grey Host.
I'm not the Jarl you need to speak to. The longer you keep Svanna waiting, the more anxious this crowd will get.
The Skald King welcomed to the Blue Palace with open arms? Svargrin would be spinning in his grave, if he had one.
A proper having a dirge for Svargrim? I haven't attended one of those since I snuck into solitude as a young man. Not the most auspicious start to Svanna's rule, but it'll teach her wisdom.
The people appear apprehensive of our presence here, but no one has voiced their dissent. That's reassuring.
I was hoping you'd return before we began. Tell me you've got good news. I'll feel a lot better delivering a speech about healing and hope, knowing that we're on the road to recovery. What did Fen have to say about the elixir? Not the best news, but I'll take it. So long as we have enough to protect our soldiers, we have a fighting chance against the Grey Host. I'll go to the Undergrove myself, if that's what it takes. Now that would be cause for celebration. If he can really bring back even a fraction of those we lost to the Harrowstorms, I'm willing to try. That's all I needed to hear. We should begin the ceremony before the crowd grows more restless. Nothing fancy, just a traditional Nord wake. To mourn and celebrate those we've lost, and cherish the lives we still have. I'd like you to join us. None of us would be here to sing dirges for the dead or celebrate the living if not for you. I certainly wouldn't be here, ready to lead my hold. You've supported me since I started down this path. I'm honored to have you here at the end. Sons and daughters of Skyrim, we have the honor today of remembering the dead.
Honor to the fallen!
Sons and daughters of Skyrim, our trials were fierce, but we are still here.
We stand and we remain!
Now, we raise our voices to tell Sovngarde of the coming of the worthy dead, and to tell the world that the Nords are still here! We are still standing!
The fallen now march home to hallowed halls, to join our ancestors in boundless drink and song and brawls. Let sound the horns, let peal the bells, let loose the ancient hymn. We will remain until time ends, we children of Skyrim.
I can't think of a more fitting send-off for my father than Nords of both kingdoms mourning side by side. Skyrim may be divided, but at least our honored dead are united in Sovngarde. Yoren, Redharn, and I need to form a plan to distribute Fen's elixir and push back against the Grey Host. And acquire more netherroot, it seems. There's a lot to be done, but I'm surrounded by good people. I trust we'll get through this together. I can't leave everything to you, you know. Well, I probably could. But even Isgramor took a rest now and again. Let us shoulder the burden for a while. I'm sure I'll need to call on you again soon enough. I don't know. It's not important, not right now. What matters is rallying the people against the enemy. Our real enemy. If that means seeking the crown, then I'll do what needs to be done. Sovngarde is a place for the honored dead. Svargrim gave up his seat in the Hall of Valor when he made his pact with the Ashen Lord. Wherever he is, I hope he regrets how he got there.
We made it through, if barely. When the clouds began to gather over Castle Dower, I feared I'd have to witness... Thank you for stopping it. I don't know that my heart could bear another Carthwatch. The rest of Carthold fared as poorly as its capital. The hold has been laid to waste, its people dead or scattered. With so few left to rebuild and resettle, I fear the Reachmen will come to claim it long before the Nords set roots there again. I have already pledged myself to Svanna. I will serve as her court mage. I hope to counsel her better than I did Jarl Olfwen. For now, I've used my status in the Mages Guild to solicit their aid in producing the Harrowstorm elixir.
I could not have said it better myself. Princess Svanna will make a fine ruler. Of course, some may choose to blame her for her father's misdeeds, but I will seek forgiveness from them. There have been enough divisions of blood and feuding. It is a new day. This is a time to mend rifts and forge new bonds.
I'm glad to be done with this. Diplomacy and investigation aren't my favorite pastimes. They seem to suit you, though. You stepped up to the task better than I could have hoped. I'll be staying so long as Joran's here, or until I can persuade him to send me after Rada al-Saran. That leech owes a lot of blood to us, and I intend to squeeze it out of him. We have to find him first. Whatever his plans were after sacking Solitude, we haven't uncovered them. With any luck, the Skald King will send me on a raid of the Grey Host, and I can beat some answers out of a few of them. Count on it.
I hadn't had a moment to honor the fallen of Morthal since you came to my doorstep. Kind willing, they made their passage to Sovngarde. When things are settled here, Hjalmarch has weathered these storms better than Hafingar and Carthal. If we can keep the kingdom from complete collapse, it's worth a few weeks away from my home and hearth.
Princess Jarl Svanna reminds me more of the Queen every passing moment. We're in good hands, I think. I'll pledge myself to her, if she'll have me. I was fool enough to follow Svargrim as long as I did, so it's more than I deserve. He did, but I was by his side day in and day out. If anyone should have seen what he was becoming and put a stop to it, it was me. I owe a lot to Solitude for my failure. If Svanna allows me to repay it, I'll be glad.
In their own way, the people of Western Skyrim are as strong as the Nords of the East. Even after so much suffering, they still stand against the howling wind. We shall do everything within our power to help them recover. Blood alone does not make one worthy to rule a hold, let alone an entire kingdom. The princess will lead for now, but many questions must be answered before the Jarls crown a new ruler of Solitude. That's what a moot is for. If Princess Svanna agrees, I want to bring more of my people from Eastmarch to help restore Solitude and the Western Holds. My retinue is too small to deal with everything. We need more hands. All I can do is to offer my aid in good faith. Whether they decide to grab my hand or to slap it away, that's up to them. Despite our differences, I love this land. It's as much Skyrim as my beloved Eastern Holds. I would not see it suffer. Today, no, the time isn't right. As for the future, who can say? Svargrim was never interested in finding a path to reconciliation. Princess Svanna isn't a father, that much is clear. So I suppose I can hope.
My heart goes out to these people. We are no strangers to conflict back east, but none of our holds have been ravaged by the kind of devastation brought by the Grey Host. We are fortunate that you stopped them. So I've heard. The princess has come a long way from the girl I met so long ago. And I've changed as well. I'm not quite as obnoxious and close-minded as I was when my father first formed the Ebonheart Pact. At least I try not to be. If the princess remains in charge of the Western Holds, I think the chances of true reconciliation are good. My father will certainly do everything he can to make that happen. And so will I. Princess Svanna, she's become a very impressive woman.
You have shown yourself to be a true warrior. Not only at Mor Khazgor, but here too. My clan is...
We all lost someone today. A comrade, a father, a friend. I'm fortunate enough to have gained a good leader, at least. Well, we all have. Who do you take me for? It'd besmirch my reputation to abandon a kingdom in such desperate need of cheer. Mog does not leave a place less joyful than he finds it. I'll be coordinating morale efforts from the Lonely Troll if you need me.